The Israeli Mossad Chief has warned that young women hostages held by Hamas are running out of time, according to reports in the Israeli media. David Barnea reportedly has told the Security Cabinet meeting that they do not have time to wait for a new hostage deal framework. He said that the proposal could, of course, take weeks, and the girls in captivity simply don't have that kind of time for changes under discussion. It's not certain as to why the Mossad Chief has focused specifically on women. But others who were present at the meeting have also backed the need for a swift agreement, citing more than one reason. The Intelligence Minister, Gila Gamliel, has cited concerns that the women hostages may have been raped in captivity. She was quoted as saying that women could give birth after 9 months, and that is a disaster that you simply cannot recover from. The ministers, including the likes of Gamliel, have reportedly pressed the incumbent and beleaguered Prime Minister Netanyahu to ignore threats from the National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir and the Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. Both of them, remember, oppose any deal that brings the war to an end and have said that if there were to be a deal, they would pull out their support. They've threatened to topple the government if Netanyahu were to strike a deal to bring back the hostages. Meanwhile, Israel's Knesset has voted overwhelmingly to pass a resolution rejecting the establishment of a Palestinian state. So although the talk is for a two-state solution, the Israeli Knesset has rejected the possibility of a Palestinian state coming into existence as part of a two-state solution. The resolution was co-sponsored by Netanyahu's coalition as well as the right-wing parties from the opposition. It even received support from Benny Gantz's centrist nationalist Unity Party. The resolution was passed with a majority of 68, with 9 voting against. It stated, and I quote, "The establishment of a Palestinian state in the land of Israel or adjacent to Israel will pose an existential danger to the state of Israel and its citizens. It would perpetuate the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and it will destabilize the region." Now, this effectively strikes down the two-state solution. This move comes just days ahead of Netanyahu's visit to the United States. The Israeli Prime Minister is scheduled to address a joint session of the Congress, and he'll also be meeting with the Israeli President Joe Biden at the White House. This new resolution is likely to further increase tensions amongst the Democrats who back a two-state solution. The blue camp remains torn between their long-standing support for Israel and criticism over Israel's operations in Gaza that have been described as a clear-cut case of genocide. The Israeli ground offensive has resulted in the killings of 39,000 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip so far, most of whom happen to be young women and children. The ministry has also said that over the last 24 hours, the Israeli strikes have killed at least about 81 Palestinians. On the other front, the Israeli Defense Forces have named about 682 soldiers, officers and reservists have been killed since the 7th of October. The number of humanitarian workers of the United Nations and non-governmental organizations who have been killed in the Gaza Strip has now risen to well over 300. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who is currently the chairman of the United Nations Security Council, has said that this is the largest one-time loss for the United Nations in modern history. Now, WION's correspondent from Israel, Jody Cohen, has sent this report from Ra'anana. Listen in.
Unsourced leaks have been reported from the Security Cabinet, indicating that Mossad Chief David Barnea suggested that time is running out for the young female hostages who have been held in Gaza for over 9 months. He reportedly indicated that it would take too long to implement one of Netanyahu's principles for a deal. With pressure from ultra-nationalists who have called the deal reckless for Israel, Netanyahu reportedly said that it's Hamas who's feeling the heat from military pressure, which he said would ultimately bring the hostages back. Meanwhile, Israel's parliament has overwhelmingly voted on a motion suggesting that a Palestinian state would be an existential danger to Israel and would be taken over by jihadists working with Iran to eliminate the Jewish state. The vote comes days before Netanyahu's trip to Washington, where this issue and the governance of post-war Gaza is likely to be on the Biden administration's agenda. This is Jody Cohen for WION World.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.